Alright, welcome back. So we're to the point now, all the meat and the flesh is off the hide, and we need to go ahead and lace this hide up onto the frame. So you're going to need a few things. Get you just a stick that was just laying around, and I will usually use, well, you could use a broomstick, you could use an axe handle, you could use a wooden stake, anything that you can use, just make sure it's round. You're also going to need a knife. You're going to need a good amount of string. I would say anywhere from, I don't know, just be safe on the safe side. Get about 100 foot of string. I like to use this 1/8 inch diamond braid string. You can get this from about any hardware store, Walmart, Ace, probably Home Depot, Lowe's. It's rot resistant and it does a really good job. The first thing you're going to want to do, take your stick and your knife, lay your knife in a safe area there, place the stick under the edge, and you can start anywhere around the edge of your hide. It doesn't need to be you know, on the top or the bottom. Anywhere you feel like starting, that'd be just fine. So I went ahead and I've already cut my holes in the hide, but I'm doing this to show you what you can do. So I'll just cut an extra one here. Come in about 1/4 inch. We're just going to cut just this little slit. If you don't have a knife sitting around, what you can utilize is a utility knife, the kind with the changeable razors for construction. No matter what you're doing, always practice knife safety. Cut away from you, don't cut towards you. So all we're doing there is just putting a hole in the frame. Now, when you first cut these, they're not going to be big and open like this. These have already been strung up. I'm doing this video at a later point in time. I didn't have quite the time to shoot the video the first time around. So go ahead and cut these. Go about every 3 inches, all the way around the perimeter of the hide.
Alright, this is an example of the hukagra method of framing. This was also utilized by other indigenous tribes, and this is the method of framing that I'm going to be utilizing in this video.
Alright, so we're going to look at this this deer in different sections. So you got the neck section here. Imagine that getting strung up. You have this side section getting strung up, kind of where the legs would be. So you can especially see that here. And then you have the flank, the right and left flanks. Those are going to be strung up, each one separately, and then the bottom. Alright, so we're going to take our string. We got the flesh side up, the hair side down. We're going to go in our first hole here. Pull some through, then we're going to weave back up, come again down through the flesh side, out the hair side again. Don't come up through the hair. You'll pull the hair up onto the flesh side and you can have all kind of issues. Back down to the flesh, to the hair, kick back up again. Let's see, where's our other hole here? There we go. Down through the flesh to the hair and back up again. Pull yourself some through. Alright, so here's the top of our frame. What we're going to do, we're going to kind of just space this out a little bit. I'm going to come over, I'm going to go over the top of the frame, down and underneath, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, back through my hole. And now I'm creating, there's 2 rabbit holes here, but I'm not going to go right through. I'm going to pull a little bit and just pull that tight through, and what that does is effectively create a pull knot, and when I want to be done I just pull it off and I'm done. So we're going to create that one more time, pull that tight, let that sit. We're going to come over here on this side and do the same exact thing, kind of trying to get the spacing just spaced out, just so, over the top. Now on this one here, this is a good about 40 foot string, so on this one here I'm going to come around twice. Pull my string through, and I'm just throwing it as I pull that through, and I'm going to do the same thing but just with this, because I'm going to actually use this string to go around the rest of the hide here so I don't have to cut my rope. So I've effectively created the same knot. we have where the legs would be on each side, and each side of those are going to get strung up as well. So go ahead and find your holes and do the same exact thing. We're going to go, as always, through the flesh side down to the hair and just weave it back up. And continue to do that weave. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and step on the hide, pull some extra string through here. And it's going to get bunched up on you a little bit, just straighten it out. And bring that around, and I'm going to do the same exact tie. Go over the top, down to the bottom. And again, I got a lot of extra string here, and that's just fine. We'll utilize that. And I'm going to go through twice on this one. Now I'm not pulling, because my string system's kind of connected here. And if you don't want to use one continuous string, you only have short string, that's twice. So I'm going to go over twice, so it locks me in there. And I'm going to go ahead and tie myself up here. I'm going to lock that in. Okay, that's pulled, taut, ready. Now for that one, I'm going to leave that to the side. We're going to go ahead and grab a new rope. We're going to do the same thing here that we just did. So I'm going to tie off over here on this side. Flesh side down to here, just weave on in. Now if you don't have a frame, you can also do this by staking your hide to the ground.
This is a common example of a plain style method to stake the hide to the ground, where one would not have use of a lot of timber available to build a frame for stretching. And this method works well as well. Your main thing would want to keep it out of the sun as best as possible, because too much sun can actually lock the fibers.
Same distance that you traveled on that side, you want to be even over here. That'll keep your hide even. I'm going to step on the hide and I'm going to pull. Alright, until it's good and taut. Come over here, same spot I came. And I go through twice just to lock myself in. And then I'm going to tie off. Alright, and I'm going to leave that string there. Alright, so we're on the back side of the hide now. The goal is to keep this hide, especially the spine, as center as you can. Straight. If you took a chalk line, you need chalk line from that center of your rack all the way to your back center, and that your hide was here. Keep that perfectly in line, and it'll come out pretty nice. Through the top, back up through the top, down towards the hair. And we're just going to go ahead and weave this whole bottom side up here. It helps to have the ends of your rope burned a little bit, and then just take your end of your rope, burn it, and then press it down. And that kind of creates a nice hard point to help you lace this up. Alright, so we're going to just go ahead and pull through that extra material. Alright, once you've got that good snug, we're going to just kind of eyeball that and try to come to about exactly where we were on this side. Trying to keep that hide nice and straight. Alright, now we're going to have excess string material left over, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this around here 2 times to lock that in. That way that's not coming loose on me. If we need to adjust it, we can always adjust it over here on this side. Lash this side up a little bit. And we're going to pull through all the excess rope here. And we're going to just simply tie it off over here on the side. Alright, and that extra string we had over on the top here that we threw off earlier, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Start lacing this up. Okay, we're going to pull that slack through and tie it off. we want to do now is go ahead and start going around and getting this hide flat and smooth, and then tightening up our ropes, and then we're going to add side ropes around here to really pull our hide out. All right, so we went ahead and tied a new string on the side here. What we're going to do now is a little bit different than what we've done so far. So go through the side hole. We're going to work on the flanks. Come to the side. We're going to come over to our edge board here, over the top, down through the bottom. Pull it through. Come down. You can probably skip 2 there, and we're just going to do the same thing. Through the string, top through the bottom. Come out to the outside of the board, over the top of the frame, down on the bottom, then back again. Skip 2. I'm going to keep on doing that. Work your string through as you go. Again, outside edge, over the top, back to the bottom. What you can do is step on that string, throw that string out until you get to the end. Skip a couple of your holes. Again, you're not going through your holes, you're just going to go to the outside string, through the top, down to the bottom, pull your excess through, over top, to the bottom. And you're not getting this really taut or anything like that. We're going to go through later when this thing's fully strung up, and we'll get it good tight. So my last one here, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off with the same knot we've been using this whole time. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I got the string, we're going to go over the top of the frame, over 1, over 2. You can stop right there, go 1 more, 3, either which way. Going to go down, take that end of the string, go down underneath, come up and through. Don't go, now you got your finger here in this hole. Take that string that you just came through, pull it through that hole, just pull it tight. Alright, so we're going to take our excess string, I'm going to throw it out. Alright, so here's where we have that laced up. Again, we're going to come down, we'll start about right here. Going to go, here's my string, I'm going to go over the top, down to the bottom, and then I'm going to come over here, get all my string, pull through. Alright, let's move this up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to go over the top of the frame, down to the bottom, skip 2, and go over and under, get the excess out. Again, I'm just throwing that out, over, under, and you're just simply repeating that. But you do want to make sure you go over, under. That's critical. So I'm gonna need to, at this point, give myself a little bit of slack. I don't have enough to go through and meet me there. So what I do, I come back up here to where I first tied it off. I pull the top string. This is the top string, pull, top. Now I'll have enough to come under. And now you see right here, uh-oh, I don't have enough to get back. That's all right. We'll go ahead and tie it off right here. Same deal. We'll just pull it just like that. All right, so we're on the back side here, and we're gonna tie that same knot again. And what we did on the flanks, we're gonna do the same thing here. This one here, I'm going about every other one on the bottom here. It's not as long as an area to cover. Jump on here, we just need to keep on going through. A little bit more slack for us so we can finish this up. Alright, we're going to tie that off. Alright, so at this point in time, the hide is effectively on the frame. Now what we need to do, we need to go through and tighten this up. So what we do to do that, we go through on the sides. Our tops should be pretty good. Those are going to pretty much remain the same. So we go through on the sides, and starting with the top, go top, keep hitting those tops until you come to your tie point. Unloosen your tie point, And we're gonna have to just string him back to where he was, just make him a little bit longer, because we're not there yet to make it all the way around, and that's all right. Okay, let's come around to the other side. We're gonna do the same thing here with these tops. And now I'm actually applying a decent amount of pressure as I'm pulling this, because the goal is to get your hide as tight as possible, but also not have a bunch of wrinkles in your hide either. Come down here on the bottom, hit these tops again. Come back over here again. So you're basically going to just kind of keep going around and getting that frame taut with the strings. See, now I've gained enough. I can actually bring that string around the frame. Just tie them up once. So what we're going to do here, just to kind of fix that, we'll take a short piece of string in this hole and we'll pull that taut, and that'll take care of that. Next step I would do from here, I'd actually lean this up on my tree where I'm going to be working, because you're going to have it upright anyways, and then I'd go ahead and tighten it while it's sitting upright, and that's going to come out. So that's how you lace up your hide to your frame.
And here is an example of the hide completely stretched upright onto the frame, and you can see that the wrinkle that was exhibited in the video is now gone. Once the hide is stood up, gravity aids in the process of helping you to rid the hide of all the wrinkles. Make sure you stay tuned for part 5, where I show you how to remove the membrane, remove the hair, and thin the hide.